Welcome, Scorpio. This is Miss 8th House. This is going to be a reading for Scorpio's Sun, Moon, and Rising. I work with angels, spirits, and my ancestors, as well as whoever is going to be watching this. I have also called forth your spirit guides through the ether so that this information can be tailored to who's going to be seeing this. Spirit knows who's going to see it, and I do not. So I've already evoked everything. I've already meditated on your energy. And let's get straight into the reading, Scorpio. So what do you need to be aware of for your highest goal? What's going on with you right now, Scorpio? Scorpio. So you're dealing with something with your mental health. Perhaps your mental health is feeling a little strained. As I was going to get your guys' reading started, I kept on having a bunch of interruptions, and I'm feeling like that might be relevant for somebody out there, that keeps on happening to you, and it's kind of toiling on your mental health a little bit to not really get the time that you need to focus on yourself. What about this mental health for the Scorpios that are watching this, Spirit? Nutrition, okay. So how are you nourishing yourself? So I like to look at nutrition as, how do you nourish your body? How do you nourish your mind? How do you nourish your soul? And so by focusing on that, it's going to positively affect your mental health because both systems are intertwined, Our inner well-being reflects itself, in our thoughts. Particularly if we don't eat healthy, then those chemicals are going into our body, and then that makes us not feel good, right? But if we're eating healthy, if we're feeding our minds things that actually expand our minds and let us grow, or help us heal, are you nourishing your thoughts, or let's see what else this is about, Scorpio. For the Scorpios who are watching this, okay, so your education, so you're learning something. So maybe you're learning how to actually nourish yourself in a way that's beneficial to your mental health. I know even though it sounds like it's something that's easy to do, it's not. It takes daily concentrated effort to nourish yourself in a way that's going to be beneficial to your mental health, but you're learning how to do that. And so I'm also getting maybe some books would be beneficial to you right now, whatever it is that you're getting really interested in that you think would be beneficial for your mental health and will help you nourish yourself better. By all means, learn as much as you can about that subject. So what about this education for the Scorpios that are here, Spirit? Breaking free. So you're breaking free of old patterns. You're breaking free of old ways that you used to take care of yourself. You're breaking free from the old, you're transforming. I'm getting a very scorpionic, transformation energy with these cards, like you're going through a phoenix moment. Very transformative. How you're being mindful of your mental health and how you nourish yourself, and you're trying to learn ways in which, to grow, to help you be a better person, and you're breaking free from anything that used to hold you back, anything that used to prevent you from becoming your highest self. You're breaking free from, and you're learning new habits that will help your mental health. So, what else? Okay, so we have sustainable. So you're breaking free and you're learning how to figure out what's sustainable for you. You know, what works and what doesn't work for you. That's what you're breaking free from, what doesn't work, and you're finding what does work. You're finding what is sustainable, what you can manage. Okay, so Spirit, is there any more cards that go in the top row of this story for my Scorpios that are watching this? Neuroplasticity. So you're changing from the inside out. Neuroplasticity is our brain's ability to literally rewire itself. So, you know, you're physically changing the structure of your brain through changing your thoughts and through changing your behaviors. I don't know if you've ever heard of the saying, neurons that fire together, wire together. And that creates a neural network. And if you can think about it, it's like a pathway being formed in your brain. Once there's a deep pathway, thoughts can travel down that deep pathway easily. And then when we break that way of thinking and we start thinking in a new way, we're forming a new pathway, right? And so the old pathway will get less strong because you're not reinforcing it by those habits, and then the new pathway will become more strong because you're reinforcing it with new thoughts, with new behaviors, with new attitudes, with new perceptions. It literally changes your brain structure. And so that's, I hope I explained that in a way that makes sense. So that's what, you know, you're breaking free and you're figuring out what works for you, and you're changing from the inside out, and it's powerful. So let's see, what about this mental health? And so we've got society. So maybe some norms and some expectations of society were toiling on your mental health, like you were doing what you felt like you had to do because you were taught that from society, or you didn't really want to I'm getting that you really didn't want to, you know, be looked at as somebody who wasn't successful or okay. And so it was kind of toiling on your mental health to keep up that image. But then you realize that it doesn't matter what society thinks. What matters is your mental health and you. And so that's what where your focus is on how you nourish yourself and away from what society would have expected for you. And you're also freeing yourself from norms and expectations that you learned from when you were little. You know, you don't have to live that way anymore. You're learning that you don't have to do anything the way that you were taught you had to do it. You could do it however you please. However you please. So let's see one card to clarify this nutrition. How is this Scorpios who are watching this nourishing themselves? In which way? Personality. And I'm going to pause right here because I live next to the train tracks, so we're going to get the show going after it gets out of here. Okay, Scorpio, and we're back. The train is gone. So while I was reflecting on your spread, while I was waiting for the train to pass it, I was just getting a little bit of insight as to how your mental health is improving because you've withdrawn yourself from society a little bit and from what was expected of you, and you changed the way that you nourish yourself so that it's more actually healthy and more in line with who you are. And that's changing your personality a little bit, because when we start to behave differently, doesn't it make us start to act act and be differently. You become a new person. And so the changes that you're making in the way that you nourish yourself is really affecting your personality and the way you express yourself. So like you're changing the inside and you're changing the outside. The outside is changing to reflect these healthy changes that you've made all by the inner work you've done. Because you're learning. And what are you learning for the Scorpios who are watching this? What are you learning? Oh. Narcissism. So you're learning Thistle. Sorry, my cat. Thistle. Hey, you don't need to be under the rug. She's being naughty because I'm recording and not paying attention to her. Anyways, so we've got, you're learning about narcissism. So you're learning about people who didn't treat you so well. And, maybe you learned growing up that you had to give in order to receive love, and you were around people who just took and took and took from you, and you withstood those types of relation dynamics for so long until you started to learn better, until you started to be I'm getting that you're an empath, and that this narcissism is something that you've learned about, and you're changing the way that you nourish yourself, and you're changing the way that what you've learned from society, because you realize that it doesn't have to be like that. And so what are you breaking free from, Scorpio? Yeah, you're breaking free from the narcissism I'm getting from people who, had an extremely low sense of self, but they're very grandiose. And it appears as if they only care about themselves. They have no empathy. People who were taught that they had to give in order to receive love as children. As adults, you can still attract those type of people who make you feel like that. And so you're breaking free, and you're hearing the call of your soul to find something that's sustainable for you. I'm almost feeling like the relationship card should be here, because I feel like there was a relationship that toiled on your mental health, that you felt like you had to keep up with society, and you're changing the way that you nourish yourself because you've learned you don't have to put up with that anymore, and it's affecting who you are and how you express yourself. And you're learning about narcissism and narcissistic traits, and that it's a personality disorder, and they're not trying to do it to you on purpose. It's just that they're sick, and you're breaking free, and you're realizing that you deserve better, and you're hearing the call of your soul, and you're figuring out what's sustainable for you. What's sustainable for you, for the Scorpios watching this? What is sustainable for them? Friendships are what's sustainable for you. So it could have even been friendships or family dynamics with a person who is a narcissist that you're breaking free from right now. But tuning into your friendships that help you feel balanced, that help you feel like you can maintain yourself, that's what's going to really help you hear or take advantage of this call that you're hearing from your soul. These are the friendships that are going to help you change and blossom into an empowered person who's come away from dynamics that weren't healthy for them. And if you have friends that can support you on your journey through that, by all means. We all need help sometimes. If they don't know what's going on, maybe let them know what's going on. Tune into your friendships. This will help you change away from that relationship that you had with somebody who is narcissistic that you're breaking free from. What about this neuroplasticity card, Spirit, for the Scorpios watching this? Nature. So it's in your very nature to be making these changes right now, but I'm also getting with your situation that it will be beneficial for you to spend some time out in nature. That's going to really help facilitate this change that you're going through. I'm getting that you're going through, this is like a huge shift in your life, and so spending some time out in nature, just grounding yourself, letting yourself be supported by Gaia, letting yourself be, is going to really help you kind of pick apart, what thoughts you're trying to cultivate and what thoughts you're getting rid of, and it'll just help you think about all these changes that you're making. So let's see one card about how mental health and society go together. How do mental health and society go together for the viewers? How do mental health and society go together? Patterns. So there was patterns within society that you were kind of, you were taught that that's what you had to do, so you were doing it, right? That's what we were taught. And so, but those patterns weren't very good for your mental health. And so that's what made you start to withdraw your energy and change the way that you nourish yourself, is you noticed a pattern. It wasn't good for your mental health. It doesn't matter what society says. You shouldn't have to put up with that. Changing the way you nourish yourself, and this is affecting your personality. How do those two cards go together, Spirit, for the Scorpios watching this in this story? So your breath work. So breath work is going to be really important. So that's one way that we can nourish ourselves, and that will actually help your personality, because so if you're ever feeling triggered, or if anything ever happens as you're going through these shifts that bring up old feelings and you're just feeling all of this stuff inside of you, all of these emotions, tune into your breath. So we're going to do it together really quick. So we're going to take a deep breath in to the count of 4. We're going to hold to 5. We're going to breathe out to 8. Okay, and that's called the Wim Hof breath. And so if you do that about 10 times in a row, it actually activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which signals for you to calm down. It sends those chemicals in your brain that start making you calm down. So you'll not feel as triggered, you'll not feel as reactive, you'll be able to be more in control of your actions when you feel triggered. So how does education and narcissism go together, Spirit? For my dear Scorpio. Oh my God, I knew it was going to be this card. Codependency. So you're learning about codependency, you're learning about narcissism, you're learning how to stand up for yourself, you're learning how to break free. You're learning that relationships should be two-sided, and that you don't just have to give and give and give and give and be depleted. You're learning about what a healthy relationship looks like, and you're learning about what a healthy relationship doesn't look like. It doesn't matter if that's a norm or expectation of society for you to be with somebody and get married, or you just don't do that to people. But you don't just do that to people. Like if you were to just leave somebody, I know I used to think when I was in codependent relationships that my happiness didn't really matter. I was more about my partner's happiness, but and that can be something that we're trained to kind of think if we go through certain dynamics while we're so young, and maybe that's part of those patterns that you realized through society that you were a part of that were toiling on your mental health. But more power to you. That is awesome that it's really empowering to start learning about that and to start learning that you deserve better and to start breaking free and hearing the call of your soul. So how does breaking free and hearing the call go together for my Scorpios who are watching this? Oh, the Matrix. So you're breaking free from the Matrix. So the Matrix is kind of like the interconnectedness of all things. I like to think of it as. It's like there was an internet that goes between all the people in the world that links us based off of our expectations, norms, cultures, everything that kind of connects us as human beings, but that isn't really there because everything is so interconnected. Like, that's the Matrix. And, society can really, really reinforce the Matrix. Like, you got to work a 9 to 5, like, you got to get married by this age, like, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do X, Y, Z. Like, that's the Matrix. All of that stuff that's just within society but invisible. The invisible influences of the world, the Matrix. So you're breaking free from that and you're hearing the call of your own individual soul. You don't care about what everybody else says that you're supposed to be doing. You want to find what's sustainable for you and find friendships that work for you. How does sustainable and friendships go together, Spirit? Are my Scorpios watching this? Purify. So you're purifying your life by finding friendships that are sustainable to you. It's going to make a really big difference to have those people who can support you as you leave certain people. See, yeah, my voice is getting scratchy as I say leave certain people, so you're having to leave the situation. And the new friends that, yeah, wow, my voice is just completely gone there. That is, wow, so it's really important for you guys to be tuning in with your friends that are good for you to help purify your energy. They can help support you as you make these changes. They can help give you that oomph when you need that little bit of extra strength. And it will help purify your energy of all those codependent, giving so that you have to receive love type of dynamics. When you spend time with friends who are equally reciprocating, like you're just your friends, you love each other as friends, you're just enjoying each other's company, like that's what's going to help you feel balanced. It's what's going to help you feel sustainable. It's going to help you purify your energy. It's going to help you change from the inside out as you change away from all this other stuff. So how does neuroplasticity and nature go together? Oh, introverted. So yeah, you're kind of wanting to withdraw a little bit right now, and maybe so when you're not feeling when you're feeling like you need some time to yourself, but you're not feeling up to spending it with friends, or it might be good to kind of withdraw into nature, do some solo nature walks, go on like a little hike, go to the river by yourself if you have one where you live, whatever that is for you. But just kind of tuning into your own energy, learning, realizing that you're changing from the inside out, encouraging yourself because you are breaking free and making massive changes. It's really gonna help you transform. So maybe you just have those few friends that you need every once in a while, and those are going to be your rock. That's what's going to help you be sustainable. That's purify your energy with that, but also withdraw from anybody that treats you less than you deserve. Okay, Spirit, is there anything else that Scorpio needs to be aware of for their highest good? Wow. So we've got self-worth. So this is all changing the way that you value yourself, the way that, you know, you're worthy, you belong, you deserve to be treated well. You're bringing this to completion. And you truly are realizing how much you deserve. Don't settle for anything less than what you deserve. Don't ever let anybody treat you like shit. Don't ever stay in a situation that feels bad just because that's what's quote unquote right. You know that now. At the bottom of the deck we have solitude. So really taking some time to tune in to your own energy, spend some time in solitude, get away from it all for a while, rediscover yourself. I knew this was a phoenix moment for you. And underneath of the solitude, which this would have been the bottom of the deck if I had shuffled a little differently, it's just really important to me right now, this Starseed card, so that you're an energetically sensitive soul and you were put through situations that were really hurtful to you. And it took a lot for you to wake up to your self-worth and to realize that, you know, you're special and that you deserve to be treated okay. It's okay that it took a while to learn that. It took me almost till I was 30. So, yeah. Wow. Okay, Scorpio, and that's what I have for you today. So please like, share, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this, if you resonated with this. If you did resonate with it, I would love to hear your feedback in the comments. So it always helps me when I know who I'm connecting with. And also energetically, when you like or subscribe or comment, you're creating an energy like highway between the two of us. You know, your energy's coming my way, my energy can go your way. It's a two-way street, so that next time the readings get even more accurate for you when our energies are linked like that. So just keep that in mind, and thank you so much for joining me here today on this 8th house. It's been marvelous to have you with me, and you have some incredible energy, and you're making really empowered changes, and I'm very proud of you, Scorpio. Okay, bye-bye now.